And welcome, Lisa, to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you, Jeremy.
It's great to have you this morning. I know you're up there in Livingston, Texas, and we're going to be talking today about living in Livingston. Lisa, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a native Texan, seventh generation. I was born and raised in Pasadena, Texas. We have that in common. I don't think you were born there, but our fathers have the same profession. I've lived in a lot of regions in Texas and somehow ended up in Livingston about 10 years ago. And during that time, I got my real estate license, and that's how we came to know each other in coaching. And we have, my husband was a teacher, and so that's what brought us here at the school district. And we've just acclimated ourselves into this weaving of different people, because we have city people that come up here and live, and we have town people that have been here forever and ever, and we have another mix of people that come here and then leave, like the seniors. We have escapees here, which is a senior development. You can come here, let me see if I got this right. You can come here and get a mailbox and go travel anywhere in the world, and they'll forward your mail to you. They have other services too, insurance and health, and it's crazy, but I bet a good portion of Texas seniors have signed up over there for their services. Or you can go stay. They have like a park. You can go stay there too. So it's called Escapees, and that's they vote here because that's their home address, and it's just a service that you wouldn't expect. We have the casino, the Alabama Casino. It's just like 15 minutes away.
And you got a lake, right? You get to wake up. You're very fortunate. You get to wake up every day to look out on that beautiful large lake.
I am. And even better, my husband's a photographer. And I bet the first 5 years we lived here, every night, if it wasn't raining, he'd run outside and get that sunset, because it's right there. It's a gift from God right there. Just, you can't deny it. We get to see all the storms come across. There's a lot.
It's a unique lake, and there's three fairly large lakes in the region. We have Lake Houston, which I live on, and it's the water source for Houston. It's not really a recreational lake, though. Every once in a while, you'll see people out boating in it, dodging the tree trunks and everything else. It's not really a boat-friendly lake. You got Lake Conroe, which is a public use. Yeah, it's the lake where everybody needs to be seen, and the big boats, and people are out there on jet skis and very developed. And then you go to Lake Livingston, and it's a huge lake. I mean, it almost looks like at some point you can't even see the other side of it.
Polk County.
And fishing, it's a great place to go fishing. Tell us about, so you've been in real estate now for 5 years.
5 years.
You recently just got recognized by your brokerage for a few accomplishments. Tell me a little bit about those.
The one you're probably talking about is an award given by our brokerage that recognizes people that live the Keller Williams motto. We thank you, Lisa. I'm starting to recognize I am now in that category, but it's people that give from their heart and do the best they can every day. I do try to do that. I always said I'm going to be that realtor that answers my phone. I can't believe the most important thing in our lives, and people don't answer them. But I was recognized. It's called the Judy Hopkins, and I'm sorry, I don't remember her husband's name.
It was Albert, I believe.
Albert
and Judy Hopkins Memorial Award, correct?
Yes, Albert and Judy Hopkins Memorial Award. And they give it in our office every year. There were 5 of us that were nominated. I didn't get it, but that's okay. I was nominated. Such an honor to be standing up there with the people to my right and left, because they are the best of the best.
Well, I think it says something when it's not necessarily given by the brokers you work for, but
Right.
it's actually one of those that are peer nominated. So you're in an office of 250 plus individuals, and to be one of those 5, that's a huge accomplishment. You also had a couple of production awards.
Yes, I was number 7 for listing agent in our company, and number 6 for production, which is selling houses, to get out of the real estate lingo. So yes, I was proud to have that accomplishment too. It was my best year so far. Probably a little help from the COVID thing, but that I think everybody was experiencing that. And my first year, I was Rookie of the Year. So that took me by surprise, because I didn't even know what Rookie of the Year was. Yeah. I do now. It was an honor as well.
Yeah, so you've consistently been a producing agent in this office, and as your business has continued to increase, you've been recognized for that. And being your coach, I've been able to see that growth in you, that growth in your business, and you should be very proud of that. Let's jump into the real estate market. So right now, you hear a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth, and it's like a Shark Tank. A listing goes on, and you have all these buyers come and eat each other alive to get the property. Tell me your perspective of the market.
I guess that would be up here in Livingston-area. I do sell outside of that, but that's my primary. Yes, it's brisk here still. I always think that, we have this mix of properties to suit lots of different people. We are a poor county as far as people that live here all the time. And so, unfortunately, it's the prices have risen, so it's harder and harder for them to afford a home. But on the flip side, that rental market is tight. You can't find them. People are living in converted sheds and tiny homes kind of things. I've seen some of that. On the bigger scale, we've got a lot of forest out there. We touch 3 forests in Livingston, and so I see a lot of that property selling, and people are building, barn doors are going in all over the place. A lot of country land, anywhere from 1 or 2 acres to 50. Sometimes you'll see somebody buy a big chunk. They usually do that for investment purposes. So then there's the lake. And I said earlier, we touch 4 counties. Because it's a long kind of lake. It is a water source for Houston as well. Walker, Trinity, Polk, and San Jacinto. I think there's kind of personalities when you go around the lake. So whatever your personality, if you want relaxed, we have relaxed. If you want a little pretentious, we have pretentious, and anything in between. We have golf courses. They're probably not the posh golf courses you have in Houston, but that's a bonus amenity. So
yeah, I think Livingston is unique, and because it does, like you said, there's so many different offerings when it comes to real estate. You could buy that, postage stamp size lot. You could go buy 100 acres in the area. You could buy waterfront. You could buy in the forest. You could buy in a neighborhood. You could buy rural with, a little bit of acreage. There's just a lot of different offerings that once you get down into the city, you just don't have that. Like I live on a postage stamp.
Yes.
That's all that's available.
With a neighbor
and you can see them, right? And so it's just a different type of living and lifestyle. And it's unique because it's really not that far north of Houston. How far north of the Houston city limits are you?
So that would be what the airport, hour and 15 minutes. If you're going to the Woodlands, hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, so still close to a lot of amenities, right?
Yes. Hospitals, casino. We don't have a lot in grocery stores. We have them, but they're small. I go all over the place. So when I want real groceries, I go to Huntsville or sometimes Kingwood or, just wherever I happen to be anyways. So I think a lot of people shop online now, so that's not such a big deal. Recently, we've had a big growth here. It's just came boom out of nowhere. And we have a Chick-fil-A and a Panda Express and a Starbucks. It's like, whoa, we're feeling kind of down.
You've made it.
Yeah, I'm not much for corporate stores. I like the mom and pop, and I want to keep them thriving because that's the heart of our town.
Yeah, it's I like that feel in Livingston. It reminds me of my hometown of San Marcos, Texas, before it really grew. Now it's got everything. Yet when I was growing up, it was a lot of mom and pop family owned restaurants and small businesses. And there's something unique to that feeling of having that type of community. So the market right now is somewhat insulated. You still have, like you said, you use the word brisk, yet with all the opportunities, there's plenty of things that people could go up there and buy or invest in. Yes. Where do you see a lot of people that come to live in Livingston? They're coming away from somewhere. Where are they coming from?
Predominantly the Houston area. Of course, that's a huge area. When you say area, Katy, Cypress, Clear Lake, Galveston, Kingwood, Houston proper, it's a big area. I do run across people that come from further away, but that limits the amount of times that you can come up here on weekends to enjoy your property. But for some people, this is where they want to be, and that's what they did.
Yeah, there's a fairly significant second home market that exists in Livingston,
and that tends to rotate out and in every year much faster than your traditional homes.
What do you think is the biggest draw? So somebody may be listening to this in our audience and they're outside of the state and they're wanting to come to freedom, and they're hearing this community of Livingston. What do you think is the biggest draw of why people love Livingston?
It has that sleepy hometown aura still. It has your local people that know the history and all that kind of thing. But I think everybody has a different need or want, and what their second home is like. So the lake, of course, they want to fish, or some people just want to get a cup of coffee and go see the sunrise or set, on their back porch facing the lake. So, it's different for everybody. We I mentioned earlier, we have, it's a poorer population. So we have some homes that have been abandoned, a lot of them. I see them daily, but they're getting fewer and fewer because investors are snapping those up. I always say there's only so much land around that lake, and it's great that people are gentrifying and making use of what we do have.
Yeah, good. So I want to ask you a couple of questions about you in particular, and then about maybe a pet peeve that you have in the real estate industry right now. But first, I want to start out looking at your business and what you offer. What is the unique reason, or why do people choose to hire you with either buying a home, selling a home, or investing in Livingston, Texas real estate?
As I've grown, my name is more prominent. I've been getting feedback from clients. Oh, I checked you out. I checked you out before I hired you. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, how do I feel about that? But how I feel about that is awesome because you checked me out and you hired me. I do try to give a lot of heart and a lot of attention to each client. I tend to get a lot of more difficult transactions. I don't know why or how that is, but I get through them, and I get them through them, the clients, with as little stress as possible. When I say difficult, you know, anything from there's a problem with the land to maybe they have errors, or a will wasn't done properly, that slows things down. And you know, the best thing is just to try to get through it and not just bail out of it. Sometimes the house is not quite up to snuff, you know, then just work.
Well, I've always, and I've always seen you as getting to know you over the years as a problem solver. And so having those challenging things and being able to get them successfully across the finish line, it takes a problem solving ability that a lot of people don't have, or they choose not to want to have. They want everything easy.
It isn't easy. I know what you see on HGTV, but sometimes when I'm out in the field with grass up here and I'm chopping away, I'm like, they don't show this part, or rain, or they don't show that part. But yeah, I try to be my best at problem solving, the part you don't see, you know. But
yeah, I think one of my biggest pet peeves in real estate industry in general is HGTV. Is they don't show those things. They show like it's like somebody walks into a house, they make an offer, the house is beautiful, and it closes, and you see them move in, and it's like that's the end of the story. So a lot of people, you know, whether it be on the consumer side or people that are kind of, you know, they're entering the industry as a real estate agent, they're like, oh, this is easy, and this is what it really is. And then you get out into that, like you said, that tall grass, or you know, it's a thunderstorm and it's hailing and tornadoes, and you're still out there working through that. It's a lot. It's simple, not easy.
Right.
What is your pet peeve with the industry? What is something that jumps out at you?
I think this is probably an age-old dilemma of buyers not really being ready to buy and jump into it with their expectations, but reality's over here. I love educating people, first-time home buyers. They're great. But they don't always listen, you know, because there's a lot. And I try to give it in bite-sized chunks, but still, you know, you get down the path and it's like, okay, we talked about that. So I really think people should really hone in on what people are saying in those first few meetings, because what they're saying is important. It is difficult and stressful for everybody in this market of making offers and you don't get it because the competition. I made an appointment. The house has been on their market 1/2 day. This is in Huntsville, 1/2 day. And I made an appointment for today. And I was already saying, I've got so many offers that, and I knew mine's the VA, which is a negative in this market. And so I was like, I think we'll just pass, you know. Why? And you're going to ask me, why is a VA negative to people out there? It's not that it's a negative. It's just the seller has so many people to choose from to take a government loan. In their perception, VA and FHA take longer. They don't. You can close in 30 days.
Or even conventional. I mean, any type of financing now, when you're going up against cash offers that are exceeding the sales price, 20, 30, I had one the other day is over $120,000 and they still didn't get it.
Yeah. In my opinion, though, those vets, they earned that VA loan, and by golly, it should bear a little weight. And sometimes it does. Sometimes you'll find a seller that, they'll just, I saw it yesterday, somebody put it on Facebook that they had an offer accepted for their VA, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Because, more and more you see that they're turned away or they're treated differently than that cash person.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, and I think they've got to find something to do better at that, because those are the people that give us the freedom to have what we have.
Exactly.
And I think there's something, I don't know what it is, but I think there ought to be a solution to help those guys out and girls out at a higher level. So very, very, very true. Yeah, I think you hit on it, expectations, and between the customer and the client. I was sharing this the other day with somebody. We have this perspective, and then we go into this movie theater that's got like 1,000 different theaters in it, and we go in to watch a movie of our life. And so the first theater we walk into, we watch the movie, and it's from our perspective, and we're like, yep, that's who we are and what we do. And then we go into the next one, and it might be a customer or client, and it's from their perspective, and you're like, oh, I didn't think they thought that or saw it that way. And then you go into the next theater, and it's like your parents, and they saw the whole movie in a different light. Is if we're not setting the expectations and being very clear on those, and like you said, listening is a huge part of communication, then we're going to miss something. It's going to make the transaction more stressful. And that's new home buyer, first time home buyer, or somebody like me, buying a home. If you don't have that communication, it just makes it a lot more stressful.
Yeah, we get those too. Oh, I've done this before. Every transaction is different. True?
Everyone. There's a curveball. We just did an investment property. I've never dealt with wind insurance. It was on the coast, and I know more about wind insurance and WPI's 2, WPI's 2E, WPI's 8. I know about those now, and I've been doing this for 16, 17 years.
But we don't live on the coast.
Don't live on the coast. So, there's always an opportunity to learn. And that's not just for the seasoned buyer or seller. It's also for the agent.
Yes. Yeah. Education is key.
Yeah. So somebody that may be listening to this, maybe they're looking at, maybe they're not like in the corporate life, or maybe they're a teacher and they're ready just to do something different because they're about to kill the kids. And they're looking at coming into real estate. What piece of advice, or what should be the first thing that person does?
Talk to an agent, maybe not even just one, because I remember my experience of talking to an agent. They said, oh, this is hard. This is a hard business. You don't want to do this. And I internalized that to say, oh, they're saying I wouldn't be good at this. I probably went 10 years with that mindset. But I kept going back there, maybe I should look at this. I think it's perfectly suited for my personality. It's just amazing. I didn't do this earlier in my life, but I talk to people, get the good and the bad, because there is good and bad in every profession. Everybody's not cut out to be a real estate agent. It's not just for outgoing people. We have introverts in our office that are very high producing agents. But you should have a love for people and serving them. And the money gets nice. It's a little difficult at first, but the money gets nice. Of course, like any other business, what you put into is what you get out of it. So there's that too.
That's all great advice. I think seeking out and having those conversations and really truly understanding what you're getting into before just saying, hey, I'm going to become a real estate agent. And that was me. My salesperson that helped my wife and I with our first home was like, hey, you'd make a great real estate agent. I was like, okay. And two months later, I was a real estate agent. And, my story is I listed a home on the first day that I was an agent. I sold it 2 weeks later to the neighbor, and they bought it in cash to have their family member move in across the street so they could take care of them. And I thought, wow, this is it. This is all I have to do. And then I realized after 6 months of no closings that something needed to change. And it's a simple process. It's not an easy one. And like you said, some people are just not going to be cut out for it. So I think getting that advice from people that are in the industry and seek out those that are having success like you, Lisa, and have those conversations. I think it's really important just to make sure this is what you truly want to do, because the turnover rate's like 80% in the first 6 months.
Crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
All right. So somebody's listening today and they're wanting to go out to I'm going to call it the greater Livingston area because it has all sorts of communities around it and counties. If somebody's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, that could be your waterfront dream home. That could be an acreage ranch. It could be just raw land. How do they get a hold of you, Lisa?
Well, Google is how you're going to remember it because you're not going to have this video. However, my phone number is 512-696-8444. And then my website, of course, is Lisa Cruse, CRUSE, sellshomes.com.
So go to Lisa Cruse Sells Homes. You'll find all her contact information there. You can start searching for properties and reach out to her. I know she's going to be able to help you have a successful transaction. That's whether you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate up in the Livingston, Texas area. Lisa, I want to thank you for joining me today, giving me some insight, some pet peeves, some advice for those that may be considering real estate as a business. I appreciate all the information you shared today.
And I had a good time. Thank you.